We can start. So welcome everybody. I'm so glad that we are meeting here now and that we managed to be here to gather entrepreneurs from all over the world. I'm so glad that you're developing amazing circular startups and enterprises. So I'm going to give you a floor. First, I would like to introduce all entrepreneurs and all companies. I will read all names in the order in which you will have your presentations. So first, Handerek Technologies and Andrzej Markiewicz from Handerek will present. He's not here yet, so maybe we will move this presentation till the end of the session. Later, welcome Martin Kosak from Sensoneo.
Thank you, good morning.
Welcome Werner Mars from Flex IT Distribution.
Good morning, everybody.
Welcome Paweł Panasiuk from Hydratico.
Good morning.
Hello, Jürgen Ossing from Wotechnik.
Good morning, everyone.
Welcome Flavio Chioffi is not here, so maybe he will join later. Welcome Vincenzo Benesser from Isuschem SRL.
Good morning, everyone.
Marcin Rogiński from Teammaster.
Hello.
And Krzysztof Grzybowski from Celsa Huta Ostrowiec. Okay, hello everybody, and now I would like to also introduce.
I didn't.
Okay, Claire Brass. Which company do you represent?
From Mori.
Mori.
I'm from Mori. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Hello, Claire. I see we have Flavio. We see Flavio also. Hello, Flavio.
Hello.
We've just started, but I'm glad that you're joined. So in the end, I would like to introduce our moderator, Agnieszka Zdanowicz, who will present everything and tell more.
Thank you, Marianna. Hello, everyone. Good morning. During the waste management and roundtable session, we take place as a part of the Circular Business Roundtable, organized by Innovation and Responsible Development Institute, Innovo. Thank you, Innovo, for invitation. Thank you, Marianna. And I have great pleasure to manage and host this session. I hope that it will be very interesting for all of us. My name is Agnieszka Zdanowicz. I'm a vice president of the Waste Management and Recycling Cluster. It's a really valuable meeting for me because organization that I have the opportunity to co-run gather 136 companies and institutions from the area of the green economy and, of course, circular economy field. And we are the largest cluster in Poland and the only one operating in the circular economy area in Poland. So for us, it's very hopeful to meet you and maybe cooperate further. Today's event takes place as a part of the Polish Circular Week. Managed by Innovo, and our meeting is an opportunity to talk to representatives of the companies and also startups who will present us the circular solution with maybe some response and to the needs of the market that are waiting for the development of circular for innovation, especially in the waste management area. This industry is very dynamically developing part of the market and requires a lot of investment in innovative technologies. Companies from this industry are constantly developing their ideas, and we also see it as the cluster and trying to support them also through the grants for the development of circular innovation. And I have to admit that in this group, I see several companies that could be beneficiary from further open calls for application. So I hope we will have the opportunity to talk after the meeting. Now, 5-minute presentation session ahead of us. I would like to give the floor for our panelists. And the order is scheduled before by the organizer, so we will try to follow it. I hope that we can do it. So let's start it, and I give the floor to the first panelist. And please share your presentation to the screen if you can. So first presenter, it will be Martin Kosak from Senseo, Slovakia.
Thank you. Sensoneo, it's called. So
Sorry?
I'll try to share the screen. Hopefully it will work. Please tell me if you can see the presentation.
We can see.
Okay, perfect. Yeah. So then I can start. If there are any problems, please just speak out loud. So good morning, everybody. Nice to meet you. Today I would like to present to you our company. My name is Martin Kosak. I'm the head of marketing here at Sensoneo. I'm calling to you from Bratislava, from Central Europe, so neighboring country of Poland. And basically what we do is smart waste management, and it's a digitalization of waste management. So the waste management is based on data, and it's data driven, so you make your decisions based on the data. We make both hardware and software, but we don't outsource it somewhere to India, but everything is out of here from Bratislava. We even got a joint venture already in Arizona in US, and we are on the global market already since 2016. So we don't say we are started anymore, but right now we are in a scaling phase. Also, our hardware, it's produced in European Union, so it's not like that we would produce our sensors. We'll come back to it later somewhere in China. Currently, we get projects in more than 70 countries. Of course, some of them are like pilots or proof of concepts, but on the other hand, some of them are like a real large-scale projects. There are more than 400 of these projects, and we are working through the network of certified partners, among them some famous waste management names like Veolia or Birds. Okay, so this is our current portfolio. I will not introduce you every single solution and pillar of our portfolio. Just the two that can be attributed to circular economy. But as you can see, our typical customers could be smart cities and municipalities, extended producer responsibility organizations, waste collectors, and then also in the private sector, it could be factories and facilities. So coming back to the first solution, the whole company started actually with smart sensors based on the ultrasound that are sending the data through IoT and different networks to the software platform, where you can see the fill level capacity in real time. Kind of the best example where we always explain that is a textile waste collector in Slovakia, which got 1,300 bins all over the country. Out of them, 600 are equipped and monitored with our smart sensors. And this waste collector collects 3 million kilograms, imagine the volume of textile. So this is kind of a circular economy solutions because the textile is coming back to the market, right? And what our solution brought to this customer is that the collection costs decreased by 20% because now they don't need to drive every single kilometer, only when the container is really full. And imagine those trucks, like the demand on fuel is pretty higher than our cars. So every single kilometer that is saved is helping. Then they also save the time, because before the drivers, they were driving the whole day, and now they finish at 2 or 3 p.m. when they can see the red dots and the dots that they need to collect. And then also all the planning and logistics is much smoother than before, and the return on investment was only in 7 months. Okay, another solution is a take-back system or reverse logistics solution. And I always tell it on this example, on a nationwide collector of e-waste in Czech Republic. And just look at these numbers. It's more than 20,000 collection points. So it's not only bins, but you can put your e-waste back also in some electronics shops, in malls or whatever. So more than 20,000, more than 13,000 users, more than 4,000 of these bins. And there are just a huge number of processes going on every day. And I always tell that you cannot do something like this in Excel. You just need a really reliable software. Basically, that's what we do. We offer mobile apps for different stakeholders in the system. So not only the collection points, but also the drivers and the warehouse and the processors and the recycling facilities. And like the, let's say, higher evolution of take-back system is a deposit return scheme. So something you do on a nationwide level and government level. So many people think or imagine deposit return system only as this reverse vending machine where you throw the bottle and then you get your voucher with 15 cents back, or 25 cents in Germany. But there are so many more stakeholders in the whole system. So imagine the producers like Pepsi and Coca-Cola. Imagine the retailers like Tesco or Lidl. And you all need to gather these stakeholders into one single system somehow. Basically, that's what we do and what we have done in Slovakia. Here are some pictures also from the recycling facilities. And here are some numbers from the 1st of January when the system was implemented in our country until the middle of the September. So also like 3,000 barcodes, more than 3,000 different bottles that need to be in the system, more than 2,900 collection points where you can return your bottles. And the whole process took only 10 months to implement this system. And there are, in average, 3.5 million every day, and the number is still rising. And this is like the biggest thing you can achieve actually in the digitalization of waste management. And we are actually the only company that are making it in more countries. We have won the tender in Malta, also the tender for the first phase in Romania. And we are also active in Hungary, Portugal, and Ireland. Right now, there are still like 10 countries in the European Union that they still don't have the DRS. Poland is one amongst them, so we will for sure try to get in the tender in Poland as well. And the last slide, just to talk about the opportunities and barriers and challenges, like we should do. So we think that the proper tracing and accurate data is one of the opportunity, because still this is something what can be improved, and actually every innovation that is improving circularity and recycling is definitely helping, and needs to fine-tune the recycling of materials. So also with the solutions that I have showed you, so DRS and take-back system, many people think only about the PET bottles and the beverage packagings, but it can be applied also to glass or used tires. So many different streams. And what about the barriers and challenges? Unfortunately, many waste collectors they work like 20 years before, and there is a kind of lack of flexibility. And if the more they would be able to adapt to these challenges, I think the whole circular economy will benefit out of it. So thank you for your attention. Feel free to check us out on our website, on our social media. And if you have any questions, I'm able to talk with you after the roundtable. Thank you.
Thank you, Martin. It was a presentation of Sensoneo. I hope that is correct pronounced. It's true that the data in circularity and also the data from tracking, it's a real gap in circularity. So it's very interesting. And in Poland, we have the deposit system ahead of us. So it's really it's interesting. Okay, so thank you. And the next presentation, it will be presentation of Flex IT distribution, also from IT area. Werner Mars.
Yeah, that's me. Good morning, everybody. I'll share my screen.
Thank you.
So if you give me a heads up if everybody's seeing my slides, that would be great. Oh,
we can see.
Oh, you can?
No.
Oh, you can't. Okay, hang on. Let me see. Oh, yeah. Let's do it this way. And probably now something should show up about that.
Yes.
Okay. So anyway, good morning, everybody. My name is Werner Mars. I'm a circular IT consultant at Flex IT. Before I was working for 14 years, before Flex IT, I was working at HP for 14 years and always responsible for the workspace, so the desktops, the PC clients, into B2B and B2C. And at what point I started working last year at Flex IT because I saw that things needed to change into the IT workspace also. And that's when I started at Flex, and we started a real interesting proposition together with HP, and that's why I'm here, and I'm responsible for the HP approved selection program. I'll tell you a little bit more about that, but first I'll tell you something about Flex IT as a whole. And circular IT is something that's super relevant, I think, with the energy prices going up, with the fossil fuels depleting, and when you look at the workspace, that is actually a place where we can also make big changes, and we need to rethink about how we are using our workplace, so our computers, our desktops, stuff like that. So who are we? We are Flex IT, and we've been into the circular IT business for over 30 years. So we have two large warehouses, one in Leiden, where I'm at right now, in the Netherlands, and also in Poland. We do the most of the refurbishment processes nowadays in Poland, and some of it in Holland. We also have a rent division, and we also have ITED. So what is our core business? Our core business, let's say, it's 70% of distribution of circular IT products. We also rent out IT products, which is also very important. So we rent for small events, bigger events all over Europe. Of course, we take back IT products from customers, and we give them a buyback proposition for that. That's also make sure that we get inflow on circular products also. You can think about leasing companies, banks that want to refresh their portfolio, and that way we can assure ourselves of a good portfolio. Also, we provide demo services for companies like HP, Lenovo, and we provide demo services also all over Europe, actually. So the brands we are working with are the leading brands actually in the world. So HP, Dell, Lenovo, Microsoft. I don't see them here, but also Apple, of course, companies like that. The big challenge is that before, and the thought of filling in a workspace is that when a new employer comes to work, you give them a new notebook or desktop and they start working. But actually, when you think about it, why shouldn't you just give them a best-in-class or a very good circular desktop or notebook? Because on the most workspaces, you probably don't need the power you already have in your machine. Nowadays, all the desktops and notebooks are very powerful. And I think Well, the average user uses maybe 20-30% of the full capacity of the machine. So by buying new products every time on a workspace, it wouldn't really make sense. And the world is changing. As I said, we need to rethink about how we are using our devices, how we are looking at fossil fuels, how we are looking at CO2 reduction. All these things matter. And companies now are thinking about it, and they're looking at solar panels, and they're looking at driving electric, but also they should look at the workspace, because there's a lot to gain on this subject. So what we do is we extend the life cycle of the IT products within a company. And that way we make it, of course, circular. So here, our speaker before, he was talking about data, and that is really important also, because going circular means you need to embed it into your strategy. And when you embed something in your strategy, it also involves data. And we have data on all our products on the reduction of CO2, minerals, fossils, and particulate matter. So with that data, you can show to the outside world, but also show internally what you are doing on CO2 reduction and e-waste. This is very important because, of course, on legislation, you will gain benefits from this, and the governments are pushing more and more on this topic. For instance, in France, they are also saying that in tender business, 20 to 30% has to be rolled out next to new on circular, which is a very big win, and I think it's going to be rolled out European for every country. So that's why we started this. HP is a company that we are teaming with and have been teaming with for a long time, and HP is also a company that is focused on durability and sustainability, and that's why we together have a new proposition called HP Approved Selection. And what does that mean? That means, in short, that we are together forming the best-in-class workspace. Because you can imagine that if you would roll out a refurbished product in a business-to-business environment, you wouldn't be sure what quality it would be. So that's why we teamed up and said, okay, how can we manage this? How can we make it as new, with the warranty as new, but still be circular? So with them, we defined the product and quality specifications. So like a new battery, like warranty, like all kind of metrics. I won't go into much detail because we only have 5 minutes. But anyway, this is a very important proposition to give the market confidence. When going circular, confidence is a very important word. And to show customers that we can do it together. And with the backing of a vendor like HP, which is uniquely in the world, this really helps. So that empowers our proposition, and we've started with a small portfolio. We are actually expanding on our portfolio during the end of this year, and then we can meet actually, let's say, 80% of the IT requests coming from the market. So the right desktops, the right notebooks, Windows 11 ready, with all the certainties of a new product and the best warranty. So this is something we're pushing. We are now in the awareness phase in the Netherlands, and we are pushing to get them to sell. So the interesting thing is that everybody embraces it, and that's why I really like this project. Everybody embraces it. Customers are requesting it, but the obstacles and challenges here are: how can we change the market? How can we change business models? Because everybody, including a vendor like HP, is incentivized on selling new. And when somebody is incentivized on selling new, they're not going to sell circular. So also market shares are reported on new sold units. Circular units are already reported before because they already sold before that. So those things are actually holding back the next step in our circular movement. And the funny thing is, customers really want it. So we are talking to HP, we are talking to our customers to change this and to rethink about it, to incentivize their sales force on circular, because the customers are wanting it, and they should also change the way they incentivize and their people, but also their business model. So it is really interesting, and I really strongly believe in it. The government is helping also on legislation, so that will come. And I'm probably over time already, so I'll stop talking a little bit. But I would say thank you for your attention, and if you want to know more, please do feel free to contact me. And even just talking about a strategy, thinking about how we can go circular together, don't hesitate to contact me. So thanks for your attention, everybody.
Thank you, Werner, and it was really impressive. And the next panelist, it's Katarzyna Heiger from Hydratico.
Good morning, everyone. So I'll be introducing Hydratico today. My name is Pavel. I'm a co-founder at Hydratico. And we deal with the problem of water desalination and treatment. As you know, millions of people worldwide live without sufficient supply of clean water. Poland is no exception. The country has been compared to Egypt in terms of water resources. And the reason is that we keep only 6.5% of the water flowing through the territory of the country, while Spain, for example, manages to retain almost half. And therefore, seawater becomes or has an enormous potential to meet drinking water supply, and desalination becomes a key factor. Today, most of the fresh water is produced using two desalination methods, and this is thermal desalination and reverse osmosis. However, these methods have several problems which negatively impacts the environment. First of all, they use large amounts of fuels as the main source of energy. They also emit, due to this fact, a lot of CO2. By mid-century, CO2 emissions directly related to water desalination would be over 200 million tons. And also the salt brine is poured back into the sea, where it raises the water temperature and has a devastating effect on the marine ecosystem. So what we have developed is called supracavitation, and this is a new approach to desalination. Supracavitation is a hydrodynamic evaporation method with the largest steam uptake per square meter of evaporation surface. And so this is how it works. So the technology uses so-called supracavitation bubble, which is up to 1 meter long, and that significantly increases the degree of evaporation comparing to traditional methods. We are currently testing our prototype with a total volume of production capacity 5 cubic meters per hour. This is 5 tons of clean water per hour. And this technology also was already used to clean wastewater from petrochemical production, and we also successfully applied it to communal wastewater treatment. And if we compare it to two most popular technologies, which we talked about, and that is reverse osmosis and thermal desalination, we can see that through supracavitation, we were able to produce much more drinking water from the same amount of seawater. We are able to produce much less brine, using much less energy, and that means that we can power these units using renewable energy sources such as wind and sun, and that produces drinking water not only in an ecological way, but also much cheaper. And we plan to do it where it's needed most, using mobile desalination units of different capacity. Hydratico already designed 3 desalination units for 1 cubic meter, 10, and 100 cubic meters per hour. First sales are planned for 2024, but we already have commercial agreements for testing and validation of this technology in real-life environment. Of course, as you can imagine, the global desalination equipment market is growing rapidly. Data show an increase to over $11 billion by 2026. So that means an annual growth of 9.5%. Key markets, of course, is Middle East and Africa, and this is where we are active. key drivers there, of course, is the scarcity of water resources and growing population, and also progressing industrialization. Surprisingly, also COVID is a major factor because that increased the consumption of water a lot, and also production of wastewater. So these are the factors which drive the demand for water equipment. And we plan to focus on these segments. So these are our markets. First of all, is mobile desalination units that can be installed locally without being connected to the existing water infrastructure. Then we have mine water treatment, and this is an extremely big problem, especially in areas with intensive mining or with chemical activities. This is south of Poland, for example. Then we have water treatment stations, which allow for much more effective treatment of municipal wastewater. And one last segment is emergency water supply, which kind of correlates to the ship water desalination units, which can provide reliable and autonomous source of drinking water without the need for ships, for example, to stop in ports and refill water. Our team right now has 7 professionals. The technology was developed by Dr. Alex Machinsky, who has over 30 years of experience in development and implementation of technical innovations in such areas as energy and chemistry. As a next step, we plan also to expand our team depending on geographical coverage and company's development. And today, with your help as well, we hope to create a world where everyone will have access to clean and safe water. Cheers.
Thank you, Pavel. As a cluster, we engaged to the Green Offshore Tech project as a partner, and we are looking exactly such a solution. So I hope that we stay in contact after this meeting. It's impressive. Okay, so the floor is going to Jürgen Ossing from Wotechnik.
Good morning, everyone. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes.
My name is Jürgen Ossing. I'm from Wotechnik, and I'm the Chief Commercial Officer. Wotechnik is a company coming out of Ireland, and I'll tell you a bit more about the background of the company. It's a spin-out and startup company that originated from the University of Limerick. Wotechnik was founded by Lisa O'Donoghue, who was working in the university as a materials scientist. She recognized there was a problem a number of years ago in Ireland, particularly in the area of LCD TVs and flat panel display recycling. There was no facility or possibility to recycle these panels in the country, and they had to be exported to specialized recyclers and operators. Reason for that was that the flat panel displays and TVs not only contain very valuable materials that can be put back into the circular economy, but they contain hazardous components. And under European legislation, you could not just put them in a shredder. So she thought about some solutions, worked with EPA in Ireland, and got involved with European projects to develop a solution for that. So the partners for Wotechnik under that were We Ireland, the We Forum, Eco Innovation, and KMK, Ireland's biggest recycler of electronic waste. So the vision was to build a recycling infrastructure that enhances recycling sites and brings state-of-the-art technology to them to process LCD TVs and FPDs and remove the hazardous components from them. So we want to accelerate that change and make a difference. Now, this equipment can be quite expensive. So we're looking for a business model that takes that barrier away from them through an easy access leasing model. Wotechnik has developed this platform together with industry-leading companies such as KUKA Robotics and Siemens Automation. So this is the ALR 4000 LCD TV processing plant that we've just launched. It's a big machine. It's a robotic machine. It's about 7 meters in width and 12 meters in length. It's a unique plug-and-play system that depollutes screens from the hazardous components and enables the outputs for shredding. So you can extract, after the removal of the hazardous components, extract the plastics, the metals, the printed circuit boards from the televisions, and that is a valuable component, and actually is a from an economic point of view an important component to recyclers to extract revenue from those. So it's a state-of-the-art system. It's patented. It complies with the WEEE directive, WEEE, and it removes the mercury from the backlights in the televisions in a safe and controlled environment. It operates with negative pressure and carbon filtration. So not only are we removing these substances, we are also in a very responsible way keeping the operators in the facility safe, so they're not exposed to any of the hazardous substances coming out of that. Also, the liquid crystal glass panels are separated from the television and are not going into recycling, into the circular economy there. To look at the process here, cutting through the machine, so we have an input feed. A flat panel display or television goes in. It's then scanned for its size, and it goes to the liquid crystal panel removal station, where after it has been scanned, a circular saws cut out the liquid crystal panel, and that's going out to the output feed and it's removed. Then the robot moves it over to the left, to the top of the screen there, to the CCFL removal station that removes the hazardous and mercury-containing backlighting. That goes into a self-contained box that can then be processed further by a lamp recycler. So the output you get out of that is the remaining carcass, less the liquid crystal and less the hazardous backlights. Okay. So the output fractions, as I said, let's jump in, are the CCFL tubes that are isolated and treated separately and removed from the whole process, so they're not contaminating your downstream fractions. The liquid crystal panels and the display shell with the metal and plastic that is valuable for further processing can be shredded, tumbled, or manually dismantled. So just to summarize the benefits for an operator, it's a substantial return on investment opportunity. Our partner KMK in Ireland, for instance, had a huge cost to export LCD televisions abroad. Now they're keeping this in-house, they're saving on transport costs, reducing carbon footprint, and now have actually an income from the recyclable materials that can be extracted. So it's a win-win for everyone. The upfront costs to an operator can be minimal, as we are offering a leasing model. So that opens up this technology to a large range of operators that might not be able to afford it otherwise. We are supporting the machine with an integrated SLA contract, so the operational risk is with us, not the operator, and it's a true plug-and-play machine. It can be employed on the site within days and fully operational very quickly. It's tested to the highest standards, and be delighted to tell you more about it. And I'll leave you here with my contact details, and thank you for giving us the opportunity to speak here.
Thank you, Jürgen. It was presentation of Voutechnik. And next it will be Contento, presentation provided by Flavio. Sorry for pronouncing Cioffi.
Okay.
Flavio, please.
Flavio Cioffi, exactly.
Flavio Cioffi. Flavio Cioffi, please share your screen with us.
Okay, you can see the slides? Yes?
No?
I hope so.
No, we still see the slides of you.
Oh yeah, I'm trying to get out of the menu here.
No, it's
Okay.
correct slide, yes. Thank you.
Okay, it's okay now?
Yes, it's okay.
Okay, so my name is Flavio Cioffi. I am working on Contento Trade SRL, that is a small medium enterprise dealing with the technological innovation in the environmental sector. In this event, I present you our solution for the management of municipal solid waste incinerator ashes for the valorization of this material and for the recovery of the valuable components that are inside on the material. We are a small medium enterprise working in the field of waste valorization, waste valuable material extraction from waste from about 30 years, and we get more than 20 patents about our processes and our products. And now we are working on this field, on the field of valorization of these ashes coming from the incinerator of common municipal waste, in collaboration with a medium enterprise that is called Berg, that is dealing with the valorization and the landfilling, the recovery of this kind of materials. We want to valorize this residual, this material, these byproducts that are a huge problem, at least in Italy, because it depends from the country to country. But at present in Italy, this material is completely landfilled, and also the bottom ash and the slags are landfilled in Italy at present. And fly ash and some other kind of ash are landfilled all over Europe. So only in Italy we have more than 100,000 tons of these ashes per year. So this is a huge problem, because this material has an high content of heavy metals and salts and so on. So it's a problem both from the concentration of organic pollutants and also for the concentration of inorganic pollutants. So there is a lot of heavy metals inside. There are dioxins. There are other dangerous compounds, organic compounds. And our process is very simple. We have a chemical attack with the step that is a selective precipitation, removing, separating pollutants from salts. So we can further treat pollutants in order to have a separate fraction of pollutants. For example, some kind of heavy metals can be separated. But normally the content of this material is very low, and for this reason, it's probably not so convenient to recover the heavy metals contained in this kind of ashes, because there are a lot of heavy metals, but in very low concentrations. But what is important is to separate the organic pollutants, because dioxins, PCB, PCT, and so on, and can be a problem for further treatment of the material. After the selective precipitation, we have a simple system for the recovery of reagents, and after that, we have a combination with a little amount of binders in order to produce an artificial aggregate, industrial aggregate that can be used for the production of concretes or bituminous conglomerates or unbound road embankments and so on. A lot of applications are possible for this kind of aggregates, because they are completely filling the requirements for this kind of aggregates and for any environmental requirements all over Europe. We we used the European leaching test in order to certify the quality of the product. We deal also with ecotoxicological tests, so we are sure that this material have no more problems from the environmental point of view. What is the dealing, the concept? So is simple. We have to transform an environmental problem in an economical opportunity. We do that separating the components present in the raw materials we are treating, the byproducts we are treating, and at present we tested this at laboratory level, and we have a pilot plant under construction. In 24 months we will arrive to a commercial product, and we will be ready to start to enter in the market. And about the benefits, we have a treatment cost that is much lower, consistently lower than landfilling costs. So for the customer, this is important because they can save money. We have a complete recovery of any residual present in the municipal solid waste incinerator ashes, so we can resolve any environmental problem and improve the green image of the group that is dealing with this technology. Moreover, this is a closed loop process, so all the reagents used are recycled, so we have no further waste to treat, and there are no hidden additional costs related to the management of the byproducts of the process. We are a team of 10 people with more than 30 years of experience in this waste valorization sector, especially in generally as concern ashes and slags. We are working on, we treated quite any kind of residual available in Europe, and we have developed technologies to solve quite any kind of problem for this kind of residual. That's all. Thanks.
Thank you, Flavio. Next presentation, it will be a presentation of Vincenzo Benessere from ISUCHEM, also from Italy.
Hello, can you hear me? Yeah?
Yes, they can hear.
So this is my presentation. Now I show you in presentation mode. Yes. So what's happened? Okay. So good morning, everyone, and thanks to all the organizer of this meeting. I am Vincenzo Benessere, president of ISUCHEM SRL, an innovative startup and university spin-off with the chemical science department of University Federico II in Naples. We operate in the industry field of chemical products from waste vegetable oils. As you can see from the slide, ISUCHEM is the short form of Italian sustainable chemistry to indicate without misunderstanding that the company deals with the sustainable chemistry. The corporate structure is made up of a group of researchers from chemistry department of Federico II in Naples and young local investors. Our activity consists in basic research and in the synthesis at pilot industrial level of products made from waste oil not deriving from crops of edible oils. These oils are part of the so-called waste biomass, which does not involve the use of products deriving from food crops and does not reduce soil from the cultivation of products in the food chain. But let's look in detail at the main products that the company aims to share on the market. First of all, there is the class of, we can say, innovative solvent products for printing and graphics. These solvents derived from medium-short chateauphane acid of waste vegetable oils have been successfully used in the formulation of offset printing inks for food packaging, for cleaning agent of printing machines, and as a starting base for wood surface coatings and ceramics. These esters that the company wants to place on the market have also been primarily used as surfactants and eco-sustainable emulsifying agents, as well as additives for the formulation of cosmetics in the hair color treatment and sunscreen cream. Our approach, which starts from waste oil derived from food, respects many principles of green chemistry and therefore fits into development lines of the circular economy because it gives new life to waste products that otherwise would have ended up either in thermal destruction or maybe in fuels. The low E factor, environmental factor, the high atom economy, and the use of renewable raw materials are all point in favor of the approach that I have shown right now. Referring to the principle of green chemistry, it's important to note that our process involves the use of an inexpensive zinc-based catalyst that we have also patented, and now we have a PCT, international PCT, which works in an homogeneous phase during the reaction at the temperature, but the temperature that we use in the system, but which is then filtered when we lower the temperature at the end of the synthesis, then is recovered and then is reused in the same reaction. So we have no waste also on the zinc catalyst that we use, even if it's inexpensive. I would also point out that the company has at disposal and make available to research and industrial partners a whole range of skills and very useful tools in the field of new product development and process innovation. This is the esterification plant that we built up in Caserta, nearby Naples, and this esterification plant will be active at the end of this month, or at least in the beginning of November. Okay. In this slide, I focus on the advantage coming from the use of our products in the various applications identified so far. In offset printings for food packaging, the new products can be obtained thanks to the particular solvent power of the ester synthesized to simplify production process without having to use different solvent when using different resin, as it is currently. In addition, an important energy saving is obtained by significantly improving the production condition on the base paints because, again, thanks to the surprising solvent capacity, the process can be carried out at a lower temperature and with significantly shorter production times. In cosmetics, it is always possible to formulate innovative products that are not currently present on the market. For example, in the hair treatment for fixing the color pigments and in the sunscreen sector, where the ester produced have given preliminarily very interesting results as innovative solvent of active principle difficult to dissolve with the products available nowadays. It's also interesting to have a look at the oleochemical market in which we enter as a small but dynamic players. It is certainly a strongly driven growth market in the sector of the use of oil biomass, but currently the fraction of fatty acid mostly used is the medium-long chain. Thanks to the new products and new application, the medium-short fractions are also enjoying success and represents an opportunity in the immediate future. It should be noted that our products are not only improvements of those existing in the printing inks and cosmetics, but also open up new application possibilities, going beyond the current use of medium-short chain fatty acids only in the perfumes or herbicides. To conclude, I want to show you that also our approach, commercial approach, also takes into account our organization size, and therefore we could define it as a sustainable for our market scale, since it starts from the concept of customer loyalty and continuous feedback for the improvement of the product provided, with an approach based on the needs of the customer. The channels that we will use for the acquisition of new customer will be mainly based on the company website already active and on the social media channels of the business sector. These are our contacts, and thank you for attention.
Thank you for your presentation, Vincenzo. And last three presentation will provide by Polish companies, and the first of them, it will be T-Masters and Marcin Rogiński. Marcin, you can see your presentation, but you have to unmute your microphone. Marcin, we can hear you. Mariana, could you help us, please?
Martin, I think you're still on mute. Oh, yeah. Well, you're not. You're good. So it's in the session, I think. So Mariana has to unmute him.
Mariana, are you here? Okay, so sorry, Marcin. Maybe we can move your presentation. Oh, Mariana is present.
Sorry,
Mariana,
I have
Can you
problems
hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear
Yes.
you.
Sorry. That was my fault. Sorry.
Okay.
Very good.
Yeah. Okay. So once again, good morning, everyone. My name is Marcin Rogiński. As you know already, I'm Deputy Director of Sales Development at T-Master, and I'm very pleased to be able to introduce you our solution for waste management. Actually, T-Master is a manufacturer of innovative technology, I mean electronic modules and IT system for waste management. Our system introduces supervision and control over every single kilogram of waste produced by residents. And now will be problem with my presentation. Okay, it's all right. This slide shows an amount of municipal waste and in kilograms generated by one European in 2020. Actually, in Poland and in EU, all residents are obligated by law to segregate their own waste. And also Polish and European municipalities must achieve very high recycling rates year after year. Therefore, at T-Master, we are focused not only on business goals, but also we have a mission to build awareness, direction to reducing of waste production in each household covered by our system. We believe that the two most important points are waste reduction and recycling. And we know that from our experience that the education is very important part of our system, but also the supervision and control over correct waste collection by residents. We go to next slide. To reduce the amount of waste produced, there is a necessity to use the digital tools for control selective waste collection. We have an effective remedy for this problem, an offer from T-Master. Actually, since 2019, our system has been operating in 4 Polish cities: Ciechanów, Zamość, Świebodzin, and Śrem. And now we are preparing another several cities for implementation this year and next year. The system is dedicated especially for multifamily housing estates, because in these places is the biggest problem with waste segregation. And for the system, only authorized users have access to the modules. And the key to open the lid of the container are QR codes stickers put on the back with sorted waste and scanned before throwing away by residents. After the scanning, the QR code, the lid of the container opens automatically, and the system records the way and type of waste disposed of by individual household. Thanks to our solution, it is a cleaner at the estate. There's no littering with waste. There's no removal of recyclable materials from the devices. Okay. It is the only solution on the market that allows you to assign to a household the correct quantity and quality of selectively collected waste, and it makes it possible to pay for every kilogram of waste produced by residents. In other words, actually, this is a waste counter, and as you can see, it can be compared in this way to an electricity, water, and gas meter. Okay, now I'm going to present you some figures that shows the fascinating effect of implementation of our system in municipalities. This is precisely the goal that the municipalities needs to achieve. I mean, better segregation and recycling. 95% of households segregate waste covered by our system, 6 times more mass of selectively collected waste. We noticed, and 91% of quality control waste with positive result. This is about the supervision and control over every single kilogram produced waste by residents. Okay, these are basic technical details of the devices. Solid metal body, container fullness sensors. The floor of the container is a scale, CCTV cameras with litter detection system, photovoltaic or 230V power supply, possibility to divide one module in 2 sections. Then you can use one module for 2 different fractions, automatic leads, voice announcements, and what is very important, that devices are modular, so can be set in various configurations. So if you need innovative solution for waste management, for example, in your municipality or in your country, we look forward to working with you. And I can say with full confidence that we are IT technology leader in waste management in Poland. But we are a very ambitious company. We know that we have a worldwide class product, so we are ready to go abroad. We are ready to go in foreign markets as well. And the last thing what I want to point out is the pay-as-you-throw method, because we believe in at Master that the pay-as-you-throw method is the most fair way of settling payments for waste collection and management. And at the moment, I mean in Poland, only Master, but I believe in Europe and in some other places, only Master technology allows a resident to be built using the pay-as-you-throw method. This is possible thanks to legalized measurement of waste weight, the control of waste segregation, and the assignment of each kilogram of waste to the correct household. So this is the last slide. Thank you very much for your attention and for this short speech. If you'd like to see how the system works in one of Polish city over 4 years, so please scan this QR code. Then you will go to YouTube website and see a small presentation from that city. Thank you very much once again. If you are interested, please contact Master and you can contact me directly. Thanks once again. Thanks.
Thank you. It's very interesting which one is. Okay, so next presentation is the presentation of Krzysztof Grzybowski from Celsa Huta Ostrowiec.
Hello, thank you for allowing me to present this presentation. Wait a moment. Full screen. Okay, so I would make a short maybe introduction about what is CELSA. CELSA is a European group of, it's a steel producer, it's a European group. And we are also placed in Poland as well. We have a plant in Ostrowiec Świętokrzyski. We have a melt shop, two melt shops, truly speaking, a big and small melt shop, and two rolling mills and a forge. We, as a company who is one of the biggest recyclers in Europe, are trying continuously to address the needs of our planet and also our stakeholders. So, to shortly speaking, there are more than 10,000 professionals that work in CELSA Group, and we produce every year 7 million tons of circular steel. We call it circular because the enormous volume of the steel is being produced only from a scrap. There are some other raw materials like DRI that are used in comes from the iron ore, and they are necessary to fulfill the needs of the quality of the steel. However, we are trying to develop our technology in such an extent to get the steel done only from a scrap, from a reused steel. So this approach allows us not only to be one of the cleaner company, to one of the more bigger fighters with the wastes in Europe, but also to save other resources like water, energy, because the production from a steel is from a scrap, is less energy demanding than the other technologies, like from a big furnaces. And also, it comes also with reduced emissions. We are avoiding the iron ore processing. We are fulfilling our needs only with scrap, and it saves the planet. As I said, the iron ore is being not used by us, only in some small amount for a specific grade of the steels, where there are really stringent requirements, and it cannot be fulfilled right now with other ferrous sources. So in general, we used in our steel like 93% of the recycled material. Considering that in Europe we produce 7 million tons in plants that are located in Spain, UK, and in Norway and Poland as well, we are one of the biggest recyclers, concentrated on providing our customers with such a green products. So in the details, it is to produce steel. There is a need to source more scrap, because steel scrap usually does not contain only steel but also other impurities. So in general, for a group, it is 8 million tons of scrap that is being purchased and processed at our premises. In Poland, I would say it is more than 1.3 million tons a year, with steel production around 1.2 million tons a year. We are entering now with our current capabilities. We are entering now to process also non-ferrous metals. We are in this subject for a few tens of years, but now we intensified our actions, and also to process and classify the plastics and rubbers as well. So we have some objectives. We want to be, first of all, 100% circular, improving our valorization of our byproducts. We treat this, all of the material we process, we treat as a products in a core business as a steel, and also byproducts, and to reduce our decarbonization by 70% in regarding the Scope 1 and Scope 2 emissions, to become a net positive by 2040. We have a few projects that we are working on. We are working on deoxidizing aluminum foundries. We supply deoxidation aluminum from our premises. We would like also to produce green DRI. It means that we will process the iron ore, but with a green hydrogen. And also we want to give higher values our byproducts, considering the SCLAC and the mill scale. And this considers some other projects that are going on that would increase the value and not only the products, but also the processability of these products. So in Poland, we have 20 now, much more because we are growing. I would say less than 30 scrap yards that are collecting the scrap from our clients, B2B clients, meaning the factories or producers who have a scrap, and also some municipal wastes that are being collected by the local small scrap yards that are cooperating with us. As well, we also have such a business model in Spain where the scrap is intensively collected. We also process the scrap and in our premises, and as you saw, we are facing the issue of wastes that should be processed, wastes by products of the scrap processing. As you may be noted or not, we buy more volume of the scrap than they still produce. The difference mostly comes from the impurities that are present there, like wood, rocks, but in a more prevailing amount. These are the plastics and rubbers that requires processing. We are developing in our premises the system to classify these plastics by weight, by type, and also to process those that are difficult to process in the form of a potential RDF or the fuel for our even electric arc furnace processing the steel, but also to depolymerize and recently to gasify it to get a more convenient form of it to be processed further. We also started to investigate the e-waste. The e-waste was also present at our scrap, and we were initially, like a few years ago, we were segregated it out, giving a classifying, but now we are intensifying our actions in the direction to utilize our scale and means, and considering the scrapyards that I mentioned, to get a bigger stream of this waste and process it better. We were present also for many years in vehicles, end-use vehicles treatment, and we are now a bit redirecting our activities to be able to process electric vehicles in that way that cars, our technology is mostly prepared for common traditional cars treatment. Now we have to face some new wastes in form of the batteries and also in form of the more sophisticated construction of these electric vehicles. So in that way, I would like to, I don't want to go more into the details how we process our wastes. If you are interested, we can discuss about that. But at that moment, I would like to finish this presentation and give you such a living comment that we as a steel producer, but also wastes processors in Poland and Europe, we are looking for potential partners that could, first of all, help us to address these problems that I highlighted here, but also maybe to extend our business model with processing of new wastes that could be easily done considering our current activities. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Krzysztof. Because of delay of the beginning in the session, we have just couple 7 minutes till the end, and also we should to have the time for talk and for session question and answer session. So
Agnieszka and Mariana, it's Andrzej Markiewicz from Handlerek Technologies.
Yes,
we got some technical problems at the very beginning. Maybe it's well, the last opportunity for us to present something about
yes, it's floor is yours.
Okay,
but please 5 minutes presentation. Okay, so because we have to leave some part of time to talk.
Okay. Oh, wow. This is not something I expected to be.
Maybe try sharing only one window, because now you are sharing a whole screen.
Is the presentation visible or not?
No. No, not. It was visible for a moment.
And now?
No, unfortunately.
Let me check what I do right now. This is again the problem.
It's the same problem. So maybe you can give us provide some information without the presentation.
Okay.
Maybe you can send me your presentation and I will share it. I didn't receive from you before, so you can do it now.
So meanwhile, maybe we can start our discussion, and then if it will be works, maybe we can show this presentation and also add it to our meeting. So I hope and I'm sure that you have a lot of questions to each other, and if not, I have a lot of, so please start because for me it's very interesting, and the floor will be mine if you have it.
People who are as an audience, you can use chat, or you can join also with video and audio and ask with your camera, as you prefer.
Krzysztof Grzybowski from CESA. I was curious with the Hydratico, and I already put a question on the chat, whether what is the TRL of the technology that company has presented? Maybe someone can shortly comment on that.
Is a question for Hydratico? Is it correct?
Hello, sorry?
Yes.
Is it a question for Hydratico, yes?
Hydratico, yes, as you can see in the chat.
Paweł from Hydratico, are you present?
Katarzyna Geiger is here, so maybe she will be able to answer.
No. Okay, I'm also interested in, so.
Okay, maybe next time.
Okay, she's joining, I think.
Hi, can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Perfect. The couple dropped out, so I could. So the question was about the TRL. Okay. So we have a working prototype, and we are building currently the mobile unit for the first customer testing.
Sorry, Katarzyna, we barely hear you. Maybe let's change your headphones, right?
Okay.
Oh, now it's better. Now it's better. Yeah, when you put it here.
Good. Okay, so I will hold it like this. We have a working prototype, and currently we are finishing building first industrial unit, like a mobile unit, which we will use now for the customer testings. So it's like TRL 7.
Okay, thank you. Do you have any question for Hydratico or another presenter?
No, not from my side. Thank you.
Maybe some reflects about this solution or some possibility of maybe you can see some possibility to cooperate.
Is the question placed for me or to the person who asked? Because I wasn't I haven't got it now.
It was a question for all the audience. Thank you, Kasia. Okay, so maybe some of you can give us some information. What about the challenges in your country? What was the main challenge in developing your solution? Maybe some legislative restriction or different?
So maybe I will give some reflects about our technology, looking at Hydratico, because currently everybody, I think the droughts and the sustainability problems around water, it's quite obvious in many countries in the world. But on the other hand, to make tests with municipalities, it's extremely hard to get in. Why? Because it's a very innovative technology, and municipalities are scared, I think, at least in our opinion and our experiences, of new technologies which will touch any critical infrastructure. So on one hand, it's like everybody's looking for innovations. On the other hand, the regulations shows that if it's working, do not touch, let it like it is. But you are doing something great, yeah. But without testing in large scale, we will never really scale up. So this is like the chicken egg problem.
Yeah, thank you. It's the way how it is in this innovation process in Poland, for sure. Okay, so maybe another cases? No. Okay, so Krzysztof?
No, sorry. I'm just listening. Yeah.
Okay. If you have any question, because the session should be finished a couple minutes ago, I think that you can exchange the contacts in a chat and contact each other. I'm sure do it. So, Marianna, we can finish our session, or?
Yeah, thank you so much, everyone, for joining. Also, you can visit expo booths. Some of you probably put some info there, so there you can get to know another companies. And I invite you all to join other sessions as the audience. So. Thank you so much for all your effort and all your great presentations.
Thank you very much.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
Have a great day.
Bye.
Thank
you very much. Bye bye.
Thank you. Bye bye.